it's a weird situation that I find myself in when I have an amp like the 2-Rock TS1 kind of sat here. I've had 2-Rock Classic Reverb Signature, I've had lots of Fuchs amps, VHTs and stuff like that. Never actually found that I was able to get the kind of lead tone that I've been looking for from a Dumble amplifier, or Dumble clone, sorry. To me, I'm thinking of maybe like the Robin Ford Talk to Your Daughter era, where there's actually way more gain than he uses these days, but maybe a smoother version of that. And, you know, plugging into Helix Native with this preset kind of reminded me of, you know, where my ideal tones seem to sit, even though, you know, there's maybe no taste behind this and it's digital, all the bad buzzwords that we think. But ultimately, I feel like this is the tone that I'm able to express my own playing with. I don't know if any of you guys like this tone or like the concept. Anyway, Quincy Jones passed away recently, and I kind of hadn't mentioned it, but of course, an important and hugely important, influential guy. I think my favourite piece of work probably might be Human Nature, which he produced. So this was a little introduction, kind of dabbling around with some of that stuff. But yeah, his work is going to remain for a long time.
This channel is supported by Truefire. Truefire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses.
Okay, today I wanted to cover this because it's an important factor for me. I've kind of done a video earlier on today talking about this idea of kind of chasing these Dumble tones, which has always left me a little bit disappointed, to be honest, because the things that I've found in the modelling world that work really well for me, I think are not attached to the incredible volumes that some of these things need to be on in the real world. I just saw an interview with Robin Ford where he's talking about his two Dumble amplifiers. The Robin Ford had kind of basically the serial number 2 ODS, which was kind of the first one built, except for Alexander's himself. And then years later, Dumble then made him a second version of it, and kind of one of the things he said was that the volumes were very different, even though they're the same production amp and supposed to be the same amp. He was having to set things in different places, even in a case where Dumble was building the same amp again. So that's kind of interesting to me. But one of the things that he did say about it was, you know, the volume on his main one was like 3 versus on the other one it'd be on 5. So yeah, interesting. Now, John Grammatico of Grammatico Amps makes a bunch of great amps. We've got a couple of other ones in here, actually, which are more the Fender Lagrange, or Lagrange, I don't know how you would say that, maybe it's not French. But also my buddy Jake went over to there in Nashville and played a bunch of his other amps. He's got some great amps. If you're in America, I'm pretty sure they're worth checking out. I don't know how shipping them over here would go, but some great sounding amplifiers. He's recently started to make like a SSS, but in a small format that looks really cool. Anyway, the Grammatico GSG100 is in here, and this is based on Robin Ford's amp. I think that's the sense I get. Anyway, but yeah, John Grammatico exists in his own right, not just making Dumble clones, making other great amps as well. Important to say, I think, give some respect on that. But this GSG100 came in the last firmware update, so I just wanted to show you this preset. It's available in my Amp in the Room Tones preset. And the idea with these is really that you're getting some of that experience of playing with an amp in the room, but with the Dumble stuff as well, without the ear bleeding volume. In terms of things going on in this preset, I've got a multi-tap delay here. This is what it should be like. And you can experiment with the mix here. And then the glitz reverb with my normal settings, kind of doing like a blooming reverb, sort of like with a bit of delay. The cab that I'm using, as always, is my 4x12 Cali V30 with the Neumann U67 here. Position 3.9. I've got no high cut on for the... And then once we get into the drive, I bring that down to 3.8 kilohertz, which is one of the things in the Dumble world where I end up rolling the presence back quite a lot, which ends up, I think, sort of closing off the tone a bit. So we bring the high cut down to 3.8 kilohertz for the lead tones. Actually, let's just look at the cleans to start with. So we've got drive at 7.1, bass at 4, mids at 6, treble at 6, presence at 0.9, channel volume at 4.7, and the master is at 4. Mid switch off, we're on the rock setting, OD switch off, and then the OD drive 3.4, OD level 4.5, and then we're using the bright on position 1. And then what happens is for the drive, all of that stays basically the same. I just bring the presence down and the channel volume down. as well. Here I'm bringing in the blues breaker or the air apparent, which to me is kind of the continuum sort of sound in a way. Air apparent, obviously not once you go into the drive side, but air apparent, gain on 5.9, tone on 6.5, presence at 0, clipping on overdrive, gain normal, level at 8. So without this, so that's pretty cool. And then with it, to me, it's definitely doing that Dumble thing that I'm looking for. And then also we got this Snapshot 2, which is the blues breaker into the clean, which is a lovely kind of just, I think, really lovely tones for me personally. I'm going to save this back to the library because that's now fixed one of the things that I think was not quite right there, but give that a try. 3 really cool sounding presets, snapshots within the preset, I think. Yeah, give that a shoot. I'll catch you in another video soon. Grab that in the Gumroad, in the amp in the room folder. Catch you in another video soon. Cheers.